Good morning. This is a special coverage of the coronavirus crisis using the combined forces of News 5 and Signal TV's One News, Radio 5, and 1PH. The Transportation Department has issued guidelines on PUVs making a comeback in areas under general community quarantine. Starting today, public transportation will be allowed in low and moderate risk areas subject to safety guidelines. Use of face masks and gloves will now be required for drivers. Buses and PUJs must also carry no more than 50% or half of the vehicle's capacity. 2 passengers per row, meanwhile, must be enforced in UV Express vans and in taxis. For tricycles, only 1 passenger in the sidecar will be allowed. Backriders will not be allowed. For those bringing their own cars, take note that only 1 passenger gets to ride shotgun or beside the driver, while the 2 passenger per row rule will be enforced in the back seats. For those with motorcycles, backriding is not allowed. The use of bicycles, meanwhile, is highly encouraged. LGUs are also urged to identify bike lanes in their districts. Philippine businesses have suffered some 700 billion pesos in lost revenues following strict lockdown measures to curb the spread of COVID-19. The National Economic and Development Authority, or NEDA, says that this was based on a series of surveys assessing the impact of the pandemic on MSMEs, or micro, small, and medium enterprises, including those in the agriculture and fisheries sector. NEDA says it is preparing more surveys to assess the virus's impact on larger firms. Back in March, the agency estimated over 1 trillion pesos in economic losses and at least 1 million job displacements after a 1-month lockdown in Luzon. Acting Secretary Carl Chua noted the possibility of economic rebound by June as restrictions slowly ease in some areas. Chua says NEDA will be preparing for a recovery phase in the coming weeks. San Juan City Mayor Francis Zamora says the 7-day deadline extension on distributing cash aid to the beneficiaries of the Social Amelioration Program is enough for them to efficiently complete their task. In an interview with One News' The Chiefs, Zamora says he does not want to rush the validation process to make sure that all beneficiaries submitted to them are really qualified for the program. The deadline of distribution was supposed to end yesterday, but Metro Manila mayors have asked Social Welfare Secretary Rolando Bautista for an extension to validate the beneficiaries.
I'd rather go through the more careful route, no? Kasi pag masyado mong madaliin at mali-mali ang listahan mo, eventually tatagal ka rin eh. So ako, ang instructions ko, mas mabuti ng slowly but surely, because once we have a validated list, the payout will be very fast. So yung 7-day extension is enough for us here in San Juan.
The San Juan City Mayor also said he is not opposed to extending the quarantine past May 15 in his city. Zamora says all efforts to curb the spread of COVID-19 during the ECQ might just go down the drain if the government opens high-risk areas soon. As of April 30, San Juan City had 238 confirmed COVID-19 cases. The International Criminal Police Organization, or Interpol, warns the increased use of food delivery services to transport drugs during the COVID-19 crisis. Interpol has received reports of food delivery drivers transporting drugs such as cocaine, marijuana, and ecstasy in Ireland, Malaysia, Spain, and Britain. It adds that some suspects disguise themselves as food delivery drivers. The demand for food delivery drivers increased during the pandemic as several countries imposed lockdowns to prevent the spread of COVID-19. Famous statues in Chicago, USA are getting face masks to promote public safety. Chicago flag-themed masks were put on the lion statues outside the Institute, as well as on the Picasso sculpture at Daly Plaza. The iconic landmarks were made symbols of awareness a day before the state order takes effect, requiring people in Illinois to wear masks in public. Illinois has more than 50,000 positive cases of COVID-19, with around 2,300 deaths. And that's the latest on the enhanced and expanded community quarantine. For more updates, follow News 5, the Philippine Star, and Business World Online. I'm Ed Lingao, and we are One News.